Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to Supersize Your Business No Nonsense November tip and tool number 16. And today's is one that I think I shouldn't have to talk about, yet I talk to a business at least every other day that does not do this. And that is have the lesson learned is have a financial wellness plan. Now, a financial wellness plan is more than just your budgets. Although I joined an organization, my last corporate job was quite a while ago now, but when I joined that company, it was a big privately held company, $100 million plus in revenue. And up to that point, they'd been in business for decades. They had never done or created a budget. They had no budgeting. They had really no financial planning to speak of. And that was a huge area that was one that we could implement simple systems into that made a huge impact on the business going forward, and it helped us to supersize and grow that business. But I was very interestingly surprised to find that a company that big had no financial wellness plans or budgeting, even budgeting. And to me, that's like the basis of how do you run your departments and your business if you don't have a plan for the next year called a budget, right? What are you going to spend money on? What are you going to prioritize, etc.? So I talked about this today in the Let's Grow annual challenge and shared the tool YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. And that's from Jesse Meacham's work with the envelope system and things, and with financial planning and financial wellness planning. And so I talked through the steps and why you would want to do that and why the heck it's important. And then I shared the snowball effect and how you can pay off debt on a personal level. Well, think about this with respect to our businesses. The same rules apply. And I honestly think if we help the people in our organizations, our team members, have a financial well-being plan individually, that working with us and in our organization helps to support that, everybody wins, because we're using something in our personal lives that we can apply to our business life. So what are some tips for creating your own financial wellness plan if you don't have one, and helping other people to do the same? I use a simple 7-step process. One, you have to define your financial priorities and your financial goals. Depends what it is. For some of us, it was sending our kids to private school. For others, it is having, expensive homes and cars, or beautiful homes and cars, or surrounding us. But whatever it is, your priorities are your priorities. And so you want to set your plan up to support and feed those priorities in the order of what's important to you, right? My family always came first and still does. That's going to be my priority, where my money is going to be put to work to ensure that they are taken care of. Secondly, we want to create a realistic budget, meaning what are we actually spending our money on? So many businesses actually, when they don't have a budget, aren't paying attention to what they're spending their money on. This same company I joined didn't use a bidding process for anything that they outsourced or any work vendors that they brought in. They were hiring relatives and friends for exorbitant fees, kind of reminded me of the government, because they didn't take more than one bid. They would just hire their friend or phone a friend to do the work, and they would get invoiced for it. And there was no process. So the second part of creating our budgets and financial plan was we instituted the policy where you had to have at least 3 independent bids for any project over X amount of dollars. And I think back then it was probably $2,000, $5,000. There had to be bids for that. You didn't just hand off $5,000 to your friend, or in this case, it was usually 6 figures, was just being paid for things like taking care of the parking lot and snow removal and things like that. And it was mind-boggling. Third, track your spending and adjust as necessary. Guess what? We don't just make a budget and then just, oh, we're done. We made a budget. We actually have to be accountable to it every month. Are we on? Are we off? Are we above? Are we below our targets? Are we doing what we said we were going to do in our initial plan and budget? And will it be right on? No, I don't know that I've ever had a budget that I made and it was spot on for even a couple of months, much less for an entire year. So we have to be willing to make adjustments to our spending. Maybe something comes up and we need to spend more money on it for a while. Fourth, we want to build an emergency fund. Again, here's another area where so many businesses I still continue to work with nowadays, even after the COVID pandemic, where they have no emergency fund. They don't even have an emergency action plan. If you're a certain size business, actually, if you're any size business, and you don't have an emergency action plan after 2020 and the COVID pandemic, I want to shake and say, what are you doing? What are you thinking? You have to have a contingency plan in place for all the crazy things that you couldn't even imagine happening if they were to actually happen. Fifth, we want to tackle debt in a strategic manner. We want to have a way that we deal with our business debt. Now, most of our business debt, in my opinion, is investment debt. It's debt to add to the bottom line in some way, shape, or form. It isn't just equipment. Well, some people do this too. They finance their equipment to the point where it costs them like a new car every year. So I won't get into that. It depends on our priorities, but we want to have a system in place for knowing what gets paid when. And this usually falls to the financial department, but it's part of everybody's role because we don't want to go into debt in one area or one department or one division of the business at the expense of others. We're one big living organism, all the departments. Establish savings goals and contingency plans and emergency funds for the business. That's part of financial planning as well. You have to have, just like we as individuals need to have some type of an emergency fund because life's going to come up no matter what. The refrigerator's going to break, the car's going to need new tires, the whatever. There's all kinds of things that can happen. Somebody's going to get sick. You're going to have another baby. Who knows? But we want to be prepared. I guess that's more personal than it is business related, right? Maybe you're going to buy another company. Maybe you want to acquire a smaller company that is complementary to yours and bring that into your company fold, whatever it is. We want to establish goals and savings so that we can take advantage of those opportunities when they come along. And then we want to, of course, step 7 is always review and adjust our plans accordingly. Now, to me, a financial wellness plan is like the big umbrella over everything we do with respect to finances. And then each different division and department will have different responsibilities toward feeding into that plan, that umbrella. Every department has to do their own budgets and submit those and be part of that umbrella. The financial department, finances, accounting, they're going to have more involved in this particular area because that's their area of expertise. All right. So question for you today. Do you have a financial wellness plan for your business? And I'm going to ask the big one. Do you budget? Do you have a budget for your business? And do you track your expenses and spending and cash flow and key performance indicators every month? I can't think of any size business that should say no to that. But if you're not, you're not. Let's get you set up to make sure that you're doing that. All right. That's our topic for today. Definitely some hard lessons learned there, both in corporate America as well as with my own businesses. But it was cool to learn them in corporate America, so I made sure I didn't make those same mistakes in my own businesses. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.